Hello and welcome to AmakhosiTalks. If this is your first time here, please do subscribe and turn on your post notification bell so that you never miss any upload on the channel. Also, please don't forget to like the video as it helps the channel to grow and reach more Khosi fans out there. Well, Khosi fans, as we all know, today we played our first game of the season in the DSTV Premiership. And there we faced the defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns. And it did not go the way we would have wanted it to go. Certainly, Coach Gavin Hunt would not have wanted that kind of a disappointment in his first game of the season in the league. Now, without wasting any time, let's go straight into the match. Now, the coach started with the exact lineup that we had predicted in the previous video. And although there were concerns with the fitness of Leonardo Castro, he did start up front and lead our attack. Looking at our first half, we came into the match with the addition of Manyama and Katsande in midfield. And we expected a lot, especially from the likes of Manyama and Billiard. Now, for me, the first 10 to 15 minutes, I feel we were showing a lot of confidence in the pitch. There was a lot of intent in our attack and it almost looked like we were going to be the first team to score on the day. Kama Billiard came very close to putting us on the lead early on in the match, but was denied by Dennis Onyango. Now, Onyango there, I feel, is a very important figure for Mamelodi Sundowns at the back, and he was a very big difference in keeping a clean sheet for them on the day. Now, as the first half progressed towards the 30th and 45th minute of the game, Sundowns started to manage the position very well. They kept the ball and made sure that they did not lose it in areas where we could hit them. Now, there in that first half, it was not all negatives. There were some positives we could take. I feel we had players who were very active and showed very good intentions on the ball. Billiard and Ngobo were by far our best players despite going down 1-0 in that first half. Now, the second half came and we all were feeling as though this was not an impossible task. We still had a chance to score a goal or even potentially steal the game, but it all went the other way for us. At the start of that second half, Katsande made way for Njabulo Blom, and that substitution for me was merited. Katsande towards the end of that first half kept losing the ball and made late tackles which earned him a yellow card, and the coach opted to play it safe by replacing him. And just as we thought we were going to pull a goal ourselves, we went down to another goal in the 53rd minute as Romeo placed a low shot into the bottom corner following a rebound from our goalkeeper. And from there, you could feel the game was slipping further and further away from us. As a means to respond, the coach did bring in Mashiane, Ntshangase, Sefama and Lesako into the match to try and come out with some sort of result. But it wasn't to be, as in the 89th minute, we conceded a penalty and the scoreline was 3-0 to the visitors. Now, looking at the substitutions that came in the second half, there were positives to take, and it was great to see Spelele Ntshangase being given an opportunity on the day. But nothing was to go our way as the champions were able to keep a clean sheet and take all 3 points with them. And with that said, now this takes me to the performance of our captain Itumeleng Khune. Now, we all know what a great shot stopper Khune is. I feel for the most part of his career, he has performed at the top level. But on this day, against these opponents, his decision-making was very questionable. Certainly, that first goal from Shalulile, it's quite clear Khune misjudged the speed and height of the ball. And again, the penalty which we considered, there were a lot of questions about him conceding it. Because there, George Maluleke seemed to be moving away from goal. You may argue that perhaps it was momentum that carried him into making that tackle. But that tackle is the same one which we saw him make on Judas Mosiamedi in the MTN 8 quarterfinal. And the reason he got away with it is that it was an off-the-ball incident. Now look, Khune is 33 years old of age. I think it goes without saying that much of his athleticism has been lost. Injuries and the lack of game time have caused so much of that loss. Is he a bad keeper? Certainly not. But on the back of his performance, it raises questions about his mentality going into fixtures such as playing Orlando Pirates. Take nothing away from him, he did put in some fine saves, which should be expected. But for me, the question still hangs about him being the number one goalkeeper for us, especially because we have another equally good keeper in Daniel Akpeyi. And now, Khosi fans, I know we lost by a dreadful score on the day, but it was a gutsy performance. Sundowns didn't just have their way on the field, and it should give us the will and drive needed for our next match, which is coming in a matter of 3 days. In our next match, we take on Chippa United at the Nelson Mandela Bay in the DSTV Premiership. And in that match, we may start to see everything coming together for Coach Gavin Hunt and the boys. Now, Khosi fans, please do leave down your comments and thoughts down below about the team's performance. And the question I am asking you today is, are we in the right direction? Do you believe we can bounce back from this loss? Now, do join me on Monday night evening for our pre-match talk for that game against Chippa United. And don't forget to like and share the video with your friends, colleagues, family. And let's all come together and be one big, happy Khosi nation.